Hello, my dear friend. Come on in. I am just getting ready for the day. I'm just sitting here doing my hair. I'm gonna just, I don't know, touch up a little bit before I head out for my walk. I usually just go straight for my walk, but today I have some people to see, some places to go. And I thought that today was like the perfect opportunity to do this podcast episode, we'll call it that for now, that I've been wanting to do for a little bit. I actually got some requests for it a little while ago, but I have just been so wrapped up in making sure I finish out my 6-month goal with my visualizations, uploading every day, that I wanted to make sure I met that goal. And so that's where my focus has been as far as like content creation. But I made it. I did it. Today is my first day. It's like 6 months and 1 day. So this 6 months ago today I started. And so now I have a lot more flexibility and freedom because I'm not, locked into my goal of uploading every single day and specifically like visualizations. So I feel like I have some room to kind of play around and do some different things. And I'm excited to see where this content goes from here. I'm just going to let it happen organically and naturally, just like the visualizations happened. And yeah, so my podcast episode, I had it pulled up because I was going to remember the name. Podcast episode 12, Recovery from Bedridden to Walking. 1 hour every morning. This podcast that I'm doing right now is going to tie back to that. This is going to be especially for those people who are dealing with the flavor of mind-body chronic illness, chronic condition, I don't want to call it illness, that is struggling. How do I explain this? Movement. There is a trigger around movement. And it can be very mental, it can be very physical, but it's kind of this, I struggle to do daily tasks that include movement. I struggle to go on a walk. I want to get movement back into my day, but I'm struggling. I'm in a pretty low place where it's like I can't even get out of bed, or it's hard to walk up the hallway to the bathroom, or it's, just getting to the mailbox is hard. And so this is for coming from that place. And I have been there. My episode 12 was all about how I went from, thus the title, from that kind of a position, bedbound. I was bedbound. Getting up and going to the bathroom, taking a shower, those were my stretch goals. And so going from that to being able to walk an hour, how did I do it? So some of the requests I got from that video, mostly like in private message, but I think there was some comments on the video, but it was like, okay, can you do like a meditation that I can listen to while I walk to kind of help me through that, like stretching out of my comfort zone and having these symptoms or fears kind of raging up, having that program trying to keep you stuck, basically. That's that safety system of our brains and bodies that's just like, nope, this isn't safe. We're not going to do it. We're shutting down. No systems are go. And it's like, how do we work through that, right? And in a real way, not just, okay, I explained how I did it, but let's get into the nitty-gritty here. Let's take a deep dive into this. So this is going to be part 1 And I'm just going to this is going to be kind of my brainstorm sesh. It's going to be an important part because I'm going to talk about the details. And then I think the next part, we're going to actually do the walk. Okay. So I'm going to take you on a walk with me. You can go on your own walk. I don't know what use that one's going to be, but I want to separate it from the details so that if you want to use it, you can just push play and go. And we're walking and we are what's the word I want to say? We are dealing with these things as they come up in real time. And I am there to help you as somebody who has been there and has gotten to the other side. And we're going to do it together, okay? And then I think what I'm going to do, maybe this will be like 3 parts. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just figuring this out as I go spontaneously. I do not have a plan for this video. I thought about making one, but then I was like, no, let's just make this organic and real because I feel like it's going to be the most useful that way. If it gets too like perfect and too planned, I feel like it's not going to be real. And I think people in this place just need something real. They need a real person who's been there in a real way and gets the real experience. And like, how do we go from A to B? Okay, so this is going to be kind of all over the place, but I swear it's going to come together. But part 3, what I think I'm going to do is take the nuggets from part 2 where we're actually live doing the walk. And I think I'm going to make like a really nice like walk and talk meditation or something. I don't know. Where it's a nicer thing you can listen to kind of encourage yourself as you step out, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's see. Where do I want to go with this next? Okay, let's talk about the nitty-gritty, okay? So let's get into some deeper detail here. So I explained in my episode 12 that I had to start really small. I was going from being bedbound. As I said, it was hard to like get a shower or get to the bathroom. And I kind of just had this moment where I was like, okay, I'm either just going to waste away in this bed or I'm going to challenge this thing and I'm going to try to do something no matter how small it is. I can't live this way anymore. For a long time, I just thought I was going to die. And then that didn't happen. And it just kind of became like this stuck place of I'm not living, but I'm not dying. So I'm just existing. And I got to do something about this. And so I talked about that. I incorporated visualization. It was not fancy. It's not like the ones I do here. It was very just raw and like imagining myself walking, being able to walk. And that was hard because my brain, like, I remember having this moment. This is a little extreme, but like, I remember being grateful for being able to think. Because there was a time where I just quite literally couldn't like put thoughts together efficiently. So visualizing was really tough. Or like doing affirmations or anything. And I just thought, I've never like thought about how grateful I am just to think, just to be able to think. And so it was pretty challenging. I had to keep it really simple and just real and just imagine in the most simple way of me being able to walk. And it had to just be the most simple kind of visualization. And then, and I think I prayed at that time. I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself. People wanted me to go into deeper detail, but it's like some of the details I shared is going to be part of this. Because it just is. I'm just trying to think like deep detail. How did it come together? So I remember praying. I remember going through the somatic tracking type stuff and learning to accept it, learning to allow it to be there. Please check out that episode if you haven't yet, because it's going to share a lot of stuff that I'm not going to share here. And then I just had this kind of breaking moment. It was very natural. It wasn't planned. It was like, today I feel like I'm about to die, and I'm just going to try something different. Let's just try something different. let's take a risk. It kind of felt like a suicide mission. Like, if I get up out of this bed and I go sit on the porch, I'm probably gonna die. That's what my brain was thinking. But we're just, you know what? Like, let's just do it. Let's brave it and just see what happens. And I was feeling really awful. And I went and I sat on the porch for 30 seconds. And then no, I survived it. I did not feel good. I felt awful, but I survived it. And then I just kept trying to do that. I think I needed that moment of proving to my brain. I had to break through that fear barrier and prove to my brain that we could handle it. And this is while physical symptoms are raging and mental stuff going on. That's basically everything is just saying no. It's a big red stop sign. We're not doing this. And you have to just, you have to do it. You have to do it, even if it's in the smallest inch, like the teeniest, most ridiculous movement forward. If all you can do is move one leg out of the bed, that's you start there. Wherever you start is okay. And for me, I had to keep it. This is for people who are doing incremental training or people who are doing gradual exposure therapy. You're taking baby steps toward it, because going out and doing like something normal just is too overwhelming for your system. It's gonna just shut down, and if we push too far, I love this scenario. I learned this one in my first health crash, like around a decade ago. And this person who had something similar and got through it. He was a pharmacist. I wish I could find his stuff. I've always wondered what happened to it. It was just like this little pharmacist in my town who I ran into, like, that had the same thing, and I didn't know hardly anyone who had this stuff. And so I was like, and he had created this like whole program and stuff, but it was like 2 people had it or something. And I think I was the second person who had it. But he had this analogy. He was like, if mama ain't happy, ain't no one happy. And he compared our subconscious and like our body and brain to this mama bear. And so there's these, the daddy bear and the cubs, they all want to go out skydiving, bungee jumping. They want to go have fun. They want to go do this big thing. But mama's only concern is safety. So if mama doesn't feel like it's safe, then nothing's going to happen. You ain't going nowhere. The kids and dad, they're staying home. And so we have to convince mama that it's safe. And that, I think, is what we're doing, is we can't go too far too fast. This is just my experience. I have had experiences where you just go from 0 to 60, and that seems to be the thing that you need. It depends on the situation. I've experienced that before. I'm not against that, and it has worked. But this is how I did my walking and most everything else. I would say that's more the exception, is like doing something big and breaking through. And I've heard a lot of people do that, so I'm not discounting it, but we're working with incremental training and gradual exposure therapy. So yeah, you have to convince mama that it's okay. So for me, taking little steps that she feels comfortable with. We have to do something she feels comfortable with that's just slightly outside of mama's comfort zone. Because if we go too far, too big, she's going to shut it all down. She's going to say, no, we're not, that's not safe. We're not going to do that. And what mama says goes. We have to work with her. We have to influence her. We have to take her along with us. We cannot leave her behind. She is an essential part of this. We need our survival system to be intact. It is a very important part of our bodies and our brains. We can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. We need that to come forward. So we have to slowly show mama that we're okay. We can do this. And I think consistency is so important, and showing up, just show up. Even on your bad days, if you have to pull back quite a ways, pull back. And then when you can, you push forward again. But this is kind of a little extreme, and some people would disagree disagree with me, but this is me personally, what I've come to. I can never just shut down. Never again. Never again are we just laying in that bed. If all I can do is get up and stand up and do 5 squats, that's what we're doing that day. But we are not staying stuck, because that just feeds on itself. It builds, it makes a bigger until you have something so huge that you've got to try and overcome. So we're just continually pushing, even if it's the most ridiculous movement. We're still doing something, and we are pushing into that zone of discomfort, because that's the only way we're going to learn how to handle it. It's the only way that our bodies are even going to have the chance, and our brains, to adapt. We need to give them the opportunity. We need to give them the chance to be able to learn and adapt and change. And if you never push, that's never going to happen. You don't even give yourself the chance. And so we have to keep giving ourselves the chance and continue showing ourselves we can do this against what our bodies and our brains are convincing us of. We can do this. And I feel like that is so, so important. So yeah, and we keep showing up consistently, and we build a little bit at a time. It can be so micro small. That's okay. Let it be micro small, and you just celebrate those wins, and you remember where you started. I have to remind myself all the time. I started just wanting to go out on the porch for 30 seconds. If that is all I do today, if I don't make it to my half hour, my hour goals, half hour is a bad day, 20 minutes is a pretty bad day, an hour is a really good day. If I don't make it there, I have to constantly come back to my anchor, which is like 30 seconds. We're just doing something, and that is enough. That's good enough. And don't build up so high, and then this is me personally. I don't want to like do predictive coding and like speak this over you or anything, but this is just me. Like, I expect bad days. I know I'm going to have bad days. I know that old program is going to rear its ugly head again. The old me is going to try to come in to deal with life. And the new me that is developing this more mature, I don't know what to call it, just this more mature way of being, this more mature personality that's developing, it's constantly being tested against that. It's constantly having, we need that. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. That is a tongue twister. It's like the seashell one. Anyway, yeah, I personally, even though it sucks, it's awful. There's that old part of me that's just like, this sucks. I don't like it. Why does this have to happen to me? And it goes into that victim mindset. And I have to catch it and be like, no, we need this. We need that weight against us. So when you go to the gym, you need that resistance. You need that weight. You need to keep lifting it. You need that opportunity. You got to keep showing up, and you got to push yourself out of your comfort zone if you ever want to build muscle and transform and change. So when these bad days come, I expect them. I want them to come. I say, come on, because I know on the other side of it, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be stronger. And so this old program comes in, and it's like, are you going to go down this pathway again? Or are you going to make a choice to strengthen the new pathway? Are you going to make a choice to feed into that new man? Are you going to nurture that? Are you going to feed that? Or are you going to go into the old one, and it's going to constantly come up, and it's going to challenge you until you're so good, you have mastered it, and it can come up. I feel like it never goes away. It's always there. There's the temptation is always there to go back into that old man. And I'm right now getting into Christian rewiring, and it is incredible. Like, it is fire. It is next level. I'm getting into that, and I'm like, this other stuff I've been doing is like kindergarten. It's like preschool. Like, I'm so excited about this new path I'm on, but they talk about the flesh and putting the flesh dying. So, like, you go through a death and you become a new person, you get a new identity, you do things different, you see things different, you become a new man. And it's such a beautiful, I love this way of recovery. It's incredible. But anyway, but yeah, that temptation is always going to be there. It's always pushing, pushing, pushing. Are you going to choose this? And even if all you can do is an inch, that is powerful, because you're saying no, and you're showing your brain and your body, no, you're stepping out in faith. And if you don't, it's like, we got to exercise that stepping out in faith. We have to exercise that to grow that muscle, to prove to ourselves we can step out in faith and we're going to see results. And for me, it's like, I'm just going to accept that comes with the territory. That old man is going to try to come back up. I think like an AA, alcoholics, they go to AA and they say every day, I'm so-and-so, I'm an alcoholic. They accept that they're going to have this for the rest of their lives. This is a disease that they have, and they are constantly having to do things to keep that at bay. And I know that's like that can be a very defeatist, like, I know a lot of people don't agree with that. I'm not saying I agree with it or I don't. But it's just kind of an example of how this thing, we're working with, some of us, a lifetime of patterns and habits that worked for us. Our brain automatically thinks, oh, this works. I'm going to go to that. It's easy. And right now we're out here building a brand new highway, and we're doing construction, and we're kind of like this man holding this detour sign, and we're directing traffic, and it wants to go down this old road that we've used forever. And the construction process is janky, and it's inconvenient, and it's not nice. But we're going somewhere, and we're trying to build something new, and we have to just redirect again and again and again. And it's tedious and it's long. Sometimes big road projects can take a really long time. Same with our brain. It can take a really long time to move from that old man to the new man, and to develop this new personality that can deal with the old man efficiently. But that's gonna keep coming up. And we have to welcome those opportunities, because we never can get stronger if we don't. Okay, so that ended up being like a motivational speech. That's not where I was trying to go with that. But okay, so right now I feel like this is a good opportunity to do this video, because I had a really stressful day yesterday, and that old man is coming up. And it's like, we don't want to go for our walk. It feels too scary. The symptoms are raging. Let's just stay home today. And so here's what I want to do. I want to take this opportunity while this old man is here, and it's raging, and my new man is really having to work to practice and continue developing and building this new man against pressure. And so I wanted to challenge myself. I'm going to go on my walk today. I'm going to take you with me, and I'm just going to go through in a real way what I'm experiencing, and maybe some people can relate with it. We're going to talk about the thoughts coming up. We're going to talk about the feelings coming up. There's going to be symptom talk. Disclaimer, for me, I need to hear those people. I need to hear what they're actually going through, so I can relate and be like, that's me. If they did it, I can do it. And that is so liberating and so empowering, to see someone who actually gets it and is or has gotten to the other side. Like, so that's what we're going to do today. So moving forward, I'm going to take you, and you can listen to this while you're walking if it's helpful. I don't know, like I said, I don't have this planned. I don't know how it's going to come out. I don't know where it's going to fit in, or if it's going to be like a good one for you to walk with. You can kind of decide that, but we're going to go. So I'm going to push pause. I'm going to get my clothes on, changed into my walking shoes and my sunglasses and hat and stuff, and then we're going to go.